Speak. Can you hear me? Well, anything? Joanne? Janie? Woohoo! Yeah, well, see the technical glitches. I had to tear this entire studio apart and move all of it down here to where I'm at now. Hopefully, some of the people who were on the other stream saw my message. Joanne Lockwood, I am doing fine. I hope you're doing well. Janie, how are you doing today? We got 5 in here now. I hope everybody can hit 4, 3. Joanne, Joan. Oh, as in Joan of Arc. Oh, Joan. Sorry, did I say Joni? I'm sorry. Joan as in Joan of Arc. KS. I'm good. Thank you. Good. So, in case you didn't catch the messages on the community tab or Patreon, or I put a couple clips in videos, but my live streams are moving to Saturday mornings instead of Sundays. Helen, welcome from sunny Crete, Greece. What time is it in Greece, Helen? Because the main reason why I'm moving this to Saturdays is because of I'm trying to find a time that is better for my international viewers, and 1756 there. AM? Well, no, that'd be 000. So 17, so it'd be 5, almost 6 o'clock there. So I guess it would be, is it Saturday or Sunday? I guess a better question. I'm sure everyone will be back soon. 12:25 a.m. in Australia. The land down under. It's Saturday there. 5 p.m. in Germany. Great. That's what I was shooting for. Germany and the UK mainly. I've got a lot of fans and subscribers and supporters on Patreon who are in that area, Scotland, Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands area. So it's 3:55 p.m. there. Maggie, welcome, Maggie. So, and I'm gonna be trying something else here in a minute. I'm gonna see if I can log on also with a secondary camera over here. You know, oop, just turned it on. But I just bought a new Canon. Oh, this was actually this camera that I am holding in my hand here. This was bought and paid for. Just gonna flip up flash on it. But this was bought and paid for by my Patreon supporters. This is what my Patreon supporters got me. It's a mirrorless Canon. So, in case you don't know how Patreon works, Patreon. So people log on to you join my Patreon as a patron, and you can pledge anywhere from $1 a month up, and that's it. They charge you on the first of the month, whatever your pledge amount is, and it took me just about 5 months to raise enough money through Patreon to buy that camera. Bailey, welcome. Travel to Eternity, welcome. I'm glad that you're both here. Sherry, thanks for the trolling video. You're welcome. That's only part 1. The part 2 will be out next week, and part 2 is I'm going to cover some more on the some of the darker side. Ritza, I think is that how you pronounce it? Ritza, welcome. Hello, you're an awesome guy. Thank you. I I'm human. I'm flawed, but I try to do the best. You know, I was raised with in a good morals and ethics, and I try to treat people as I wish to be treated in life, and I live by that standard. But back to what I was saying about Patreon. So I raised enough money through Patreon, through supporters that way, and that's how I got the new camera. So the video quality is basically what I'm getting to is going to ramped up a heck of a lot. I don't know if you see it, but I've got a whole collection of old digital cameras back there, and yes, that is a high 8 video camera. That is what I started with here on YouTube. Sony Handycam. This is what I made my very first videos on YouTube. 11 months ago, I started with this camera, with this camcorder. It's a high 8, but it's got audio and video output jacks in the back here. So I was able to connect this directly to a PC tower and then record it as it was actually shooting through the video camera itself that way. Then I stepped it up and I went to a digital Sony camera. I'm sure some of you out there remember these giant monstrosities, but I used this for about 2 months. Then after that, I went to the 4 megapixel Kodak digital camera. Digital camera, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Kodak finally got into the digital business. But now I've stepped up to, thanks to my Patreon supporters, I'm stepped up to the mirrorless Canon. So we're getting there. Progress, yes. Will, I'm glad you do different posts. Thank you, Joan. I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late to the party. Hey, I still have a Sony just like that. Do you, Lori? And it's these dinosaurs of technology, but they still work. Canons are nice cameras. They really are. I had one before this one, but it was quite a few years back. But I was on vacation and I had it locked in. Well, I thought I had it secured. I had it locked in like the armrest thing in my Ford Explorer, and somebody broke into the car and they stole the stereo and they got my camera and everything else. But welcome back and with audio. Yes, Wooly Woolworth. I remember the Woolworth stores. Actually, I missed them. I don't know if anybody else remembers Woolworth. Good now? Well, there was no audio at all that was working. Like I was telling everybody, I had completely disassembled all this stuff and had to move it from one end of my house to here. And this reason why I logged on early was because I wanted to make sure that I had everything worked out. And it's a good thing, right? That I did, because obviously it wasn't working. Yes, you had a Woolworths in Fairbanks, Alaska. I got a buddy up there just outside of Juneau right now who's building a log cabin. He's kind of a different fellow. He great guy. Don't get me wrong. I just couldn't live the kind of nomadic life that he lives. He likes to be off the grid completely, and he does have a cell phone, but he only turns it on like 2 or 3 times a month, and that's just to call home to his family. Woolworths in England, Bunny Rabbit. Funny on the Woolworths story was a lady was in a lady's live. She was in the UK and she remembers Woolworths stores too. What when I was a wee little lad, my father and I used to stop by a Woolworths store, a lunch counter that they had in downtown Minneapolis. It was one of those rare occasions, when me and my dad would go do something where because my dad was a master carpenter and cabinet maker, and we'd travel around a lot and to get wood. He'd hear about like a story, someone's tearing down a barn 180 miles away. So we'd jump into the station wagon, that he had a trailer on, a flatbed trailer, and we'd go there to get the wood. But we never actually stopped into places except for gas stations. But we would always he made a habit to always stop in that Woolworth store in downtown Minneapolis at the lunch counter. And I would get French fries and mayonnaise because, well, that's just who we are. We're weird that way in our family. We don't dip our fries in ketchup, we dip it in mayonnaise. I have a Canon PowerShot A1 100 IS digital camera. I gotta upgrade myself. By the way, I gotta go say hi to Cece on her live. I'll be back. Med Gas Guy. Yeah, I just saw that when I logged back on. It told me that she was live, but I'm hoping to do a collaboration video with her. Hopefully tomorrow. Minneapolis. I'm in Maplewood, Minnesota. Funny. I love the fries and mayo. Linda. I've got family not in Maplewood, but I've got a lot of family around that area. I grew up in Prescott, Wisconsin, across the border, and I've got family all over the Twin Cities: Minneapolis, St. Paul, Edina, St. Louis Park, yeah, and then all the way up to International Falls in Minnesota. I knew I need a new camera. What's the best for taking portraits of animals? Dale. Um, you know, you can get really. Do you have a cell phone? I'm guessing you do, but the cameras that are on the new iPhones and the Samsung Galaxy 10s, phenomenal cameras. You grew up in Minnesota, Linda, and Linda. By the way, I really enjoyed the live stream last night. You two ladies, just clowning around for your birthday, and happy birthday to you. I didn't get a chance to tell you that before I left last night, but I caught the rest of it afterwards. I had to go because I had to put my little guy to sleep, and he's 2, and he didn't want to really go to sleep last night. Not that he wants to go to sleep most nights. It's kind of rare that I get a chance to actually lay down with him and read with him before he goes to sleep. I try to, but my work schedule usually interferes with that. But I got that rare opportunity last night because the wife was working late, so I got to do that. And by the way, Linda, I'm a subscriber to your channel. That's why I knew that you were live because I caught you over there on CC's, and I subscribed to you right then and there. Ginger Anderson, welcome. If I didn't see you before, you grew up in Minnesota. Hesitate, and I missed getting photos of the donkey ears up. Oh, yeah, but you can. I have the LG. Yeah, you can see the back of it. It's got the glass back and glass front, but the glass back. I dropped it one time and it shattered it. Love 411. Thank you for the sub. And you too. If you guys haven't had a chance, go check out Linda K Listing. I'm gonna give her a pitch. Go check out her channel and check out her jiggle video. That is absolutely hilarious. I was watching it and I damn near choked on my coffee while watching it. I was laughing so hard. But go check out her video, her channel. Give her a pitch. I wish I could. I can't get the stupid thing to work. So YouTube changed their algorithm, and they got rid of on the sidebar where it used to tell you channels that are related to your topic, your kind of content. They used to tell you related channel, and but they got rid of that. And there's a section where you can put in channels that you like. I can't get it to take a single channel yet. I'm still working on it, and I sent a message to YouTube to ask them like, why is this not working for me? And again, I think YouTube hates me because I still haven't gotten the advertise. Like underneath the video, you'll see that shelf where you can advertise your fan gear from Teespring. I don't have that. And then there's a lot of things in metrics that I don't have the ability to do either. I think I'm on some old version of YouTube. Love your no nonsense approach. Thank you very much. Good morning, all. Sunny finally in Illinois. Time for a change. Welcome. Glad you could be here today. Linda Slater, your Timothy Jones Jr. videos are very informative. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. YouTube hates everyone. Not everyone, Lori. They really like their really big channels, and they spend a lot more time paying attention to them. And when you get to a certain, so when you start off a channel and you have, Linda can, you might want to listen up to this. But when you start off a channel and you have under 1,000 subscribers, they don't really pay attention to you all that much. You get to 1,000, you start to get monetized. They start to pay a little bit more attention to you. You get to like 100,000, then now that you have their attention, but you get to like 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 30 million subscribers, you get 24-hour a day access. You get a phone number. You have a problem with their software, you can call them up and they'll help you over the phone to get it fixed. You down here in the lower end, you get under 100,000 subscribers, they don't care about you. You're so many channels come and go on the lower end. You have to get up here where they actually want to pay attention to you. On the upside though, I was able to catch the attention of a certain group within the YouTube creators in Creators Insider. That's an actual channel for YouTube. It's the unofficial channel. But and I was invited to go to VidCon, which is like a YouTube conference, and actually be one of the presenters and give a talk there. That's coming up in July. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. If either way, I'm sending my daughter down there to hand out stickers and swag from my store. I've got a whole box over here of T-shirts and hats and stickers and women's leggings that she's going to be handing out as well. Just in case I'm not there, I'm going to make sure that I flood the convention center there with my channel name and the link. Sarah from the UK. Hi, all. Love the UK. Oh, I missed one. Hold on. Ollie Cat. A lot of people are looking at the live. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. All united, go to this channel, hit the bell icon. Thank you, Travel to Eternity. I think will pop up at the bottom and see it'll pop up with the notification options. Click all, please. But yeah, at the same time though, they also invited me, which is kind of weird. I got invited to shortly after they asked me to go to VidCon and be a speaker and presenter there. I also got invited to go to New York to take part in YouTube Latino conference there. And I'm not Latino, but they say because of the where I live in the United States, I have a large demographic of Latino subscribers. Hey, DJ the DJ. Glad you could be here today, DJ. Hi, friends. It's summer. I miss so much anymore. Well, it's summer, but I'd rather live at the temperature I'm at right now. I live in a they call it a high step toe. So it's not quite desert, but it's not quite anything else. It just sucks. Like, but if it gets here, it gets up to about 114, 115 in the summer. But right now, it's like today, it's going to be like 73 degrees. And I think like a small breeze, like 2 to 3 miles an hour. Excuse me. Yes, I have. I wish I knew what was going on. All United, welcome. Smash that thumbs up. Hi. Oh my. Minnesota in the summer, the humidity sucks. All right, is that where you're at, Linda? I miss home. I'll be back there in June. Well, normally I'm there the whole month, but I was going to ask you. So, Linda, you just had your birthday, and it's the 8th now. So let's say yesterday was 7th with your birthday. That makes you a Gemini, doesn't it? I believe so. I don't pay much attention to astrology, but I always like to know what people's astrological signs are. I'm a Gemini myself. Yes, we're all cold in the UK. Mike Heating. Good morning. I watch your channel. I didn't comment. Susie, I'm going to show that. Don't walk in lock and step. You're a great person. You're honest. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it. Yeah, Will, I like the Canon camera you got. What model number? Again, I don't know. I'd have to actually go get the box. Well, I got the megapixels, got the 50 times zoom. I'm not near the box right now, Megasky, but I'll post it in the comment section of this later on. Ginger, you're a Pisces. Enjoy your channel, Sage Tree. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to Wisconsin for Justice Rally in June 15th. Okay. I didn't know anything about that, Linda. That sounds interesting, though. Yeah, you're a Gemini. My birthday is not for another 11 days. Virgo here, but born right on the cusp of a Leo Virgo. And I get lucky. Every 5 years, my birthday falls on Father's Day. Libra, scales of justice. It's obvious while I watch true crime. I'll tell you all. We got a Scorpio in here. Uh-oh. Crazy Nurse Granny. Hey there. Welcome. Just saw your comments this morning on, was it Little? Samuel Little? cool. Every 7 years, mine falls on Thanksgiving. Bunny Rabbit, Scorpio. Good morning, Will. View it, true crime. All right, so I was gonna say, Brenda Atkins, welcome, and View it, true crime, welcome as well. But I I got into true crime. Yeah, I'm an avid reader. I love to read actual books. So they have these things where it's like paper that's made from trees, and they print words on them. I got to break it down for some of the younger viewers out there. And you turn the page like this, and you read letters that make words. But I read a lot. I read physical books, and I have hundreds and hundreds of books in my house, and I I got into true crime because I love psychology. I love the psychology behind what makes people do the weird and crazy, and tragic things that they do. Dangerous criminals, welcome. An avid book reader too, Lori. You know, you have a lot of books. Travel to Eternity. Uh, I'm not kidding. Unfortunately, one of these years, down the road here, and I hope it's a long time from now, but I'm going to have to be responsible to help clean out my mother-in-law's home. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, they live about 6 blocks away, and it's one of the reasons why we bought this new home. Besides that, my wife saw it, fell in love with it, and well, that's what I do. Happy wife, happy life. But when I have to clean out that house, I'm going to end up with probably the equivalent of like 3 bookstores. Most of the books that she has are mass market paperbacks, and they've actually closed off and built walls in their home that are floor to ceiling bookcases. And there's probably about 30 of those in the house. And each one of them, I tried to count them one time. Each shelf unit is about 15 feet in length by 8 feet high and double sided. So there's about 400 books on each and every one. You've been watching True Crime Loser in New Orleans at a Crime Con convention. Lori, I never actually heard of that until he actually posted on his page. I'm a subscriber of his as well. And again, if you guys need another channel you want to check out, go check out True Crime Loser. Scott Sharp is one funny guy, and he brings a little bit of humor to the story. And join the Schmida family. Had done that, Will. My dad's a history major and a pastor. Talk about books when he passed. DJ, I can understand that. You love Samara, welcome. How you doing today? You love True Crime Loser. I'm watching him too. Travel to Eternity. Well, I wonder why you were not at the crime convention. Well, DJ, I'd never even heard of it until Scott brought it up on his channel. Schmida. There's Eddie. Schmida. I'm good. How are you, Will? I'm fine. I'm great. My friend is coming into town later on today. He's driving about 600 miles. He texted me about an hour ago. That's why I don't have my cell phone anywhere near me, but I'm waiting for him to get into town, and then I'm gonna go hit the golf course today, and then I'm going to hopefully later on. I'm hoping, cross our fingers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping to get him down here into the new studio to do a live stream before he has to go back home. So, if the demographics of my channel and the YouTube metrics are actually correct, You guys are going to love him. He is 50. Well, see, men don't care if you're actually off on their age. So I think he's 56. He's single. He has he's long-term employed, never been convicted of a crime, doesn't do illegal drugs. He is an upstanding individual. He actually is doing the second bite at life of being a parent again. His adult daughter is she's gone off the path of where she should be, and he is um, having to raise his grandchildren. Where does he live? He lives just outside of Tacoma, Washington. Is this a dating service, Crazy Nurse Granny? No, it's not a dating service, but I'll put him out there. I'll pimp him out, on a live stream. No, and I'm just kidding. I mean, that's a joke. But no, I mean, looking at the demographics of my channel, about 75%, right there, roughly, every month. It goes up and down a little bit, but about 75% of the women, of the people who watch my channel, are women in his age group. But he works too much. He's a technical designer for, I'm trying to think of what they call it. He designs containment vessels for hazardous waste. So, and he's also a drafter by profession. Thank you, Lisa, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Travel to attorney. I live in Seattle. I know Tacoma well. I lived in Tacoma for a time being, and I also lived outside of Tacoma. Well, outside of Seattle. I lived in Tacoma. I lived next to Tacoma Mall, but that was when I was in high school. I am his age group and single. See, Lori. If nothing else, maybe we can hook you up with a pen pal. Travel to attorney lives in Kent. I'm not going to say where he lives, but you live in Kent. Lori sounds like a good match. Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. He really is. He's originally from Maine. He has pretty much the same moral and ethics as I do, but he's a lot easier to listen to, and a lot of people, that I know, say he's a lot easier on the eyes than me. I haven't been interested in it for years. My first crime case that got me hooked was the Night Stalker. I wish I had I don't have any of my notes in here yet. They're all still up in my old office. I'm not. That one's not striking a bell with me right now. The Night Stalker is Richard Ramirez. All Night is 46. Oh my God, Maine is where I want to move someday. He eventually wants to go back home. He says he's never going to retire. My favorite case to look into is a Zodiac killer. I actually, see who's at that. Memes to the max. I actually met Robert Graysmith, the author of the Zodiac Killer, the book Zodiac. I actually met him and actually got him to sign his first edition hardcover. I still have it upstairs. Very interesting guy. Yeah, he would. He spent his entire life infatuated with that case, and he never would give up on it. Yeah, Samara. I've met a lot of authors. I got a couple that live pretty close to me. Now I'm not as heavy into industry as you think. We're different. I would be. Yep, him. Lisa Slater. Charlie. Charlie was an interesting man. Crazy, but interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna try this with my phone. So I'm gonna step out of the camera here because I have to put it on the tripod. Be with you in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a little bit. So, little bit of a delay. You guys hear that? All right, I'm gonna turn it off. But I was just curious if I could actually, at the same time, while you're streaming through this camera, if I can turn on either this camera over here or my cell phone. And apparently, I can. All right, now I know that. 'Cause now I can set up the Canon here, and I can set up the other cameras as well. Because I want, yeah, I'm not really into technology. It's a good thing I have an adult daughter. She can actually break this stuff down for me and tell me how it all works. If your friend is half as good looking as you, he's got it made. You are very easy in the eyes. Look, like my ex-husband. Travel to eternity. Thank you. I guess. I mean, he's your ex-husband for a reason, though, right? Nah. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah. Well, thank you. Ted Bundy is interesting. Excellent podcast. Charlie Manson's Hollywood. Go shine. I've I've subscribed to your channel. Can you see me? Go shine. Oh, shine on. There you are. Now I see that. I rely on my kids to explain this stuff to me too. I'm not kidding. I had an issue with my computer the other day where it wasn't recognizing the SD card for some reason. My daughter came over and typed a couple things in and fix it in like a minute. I spent an hour and a half trying to figure out how to get the like, whoa, is that a drive? What is that thing called? I received an autographed copy of a book by Aaron Brockovich. It was an amazing gift. Someone took the time to stand in line and get it autographed. That's cool. When I met Robert, I wasn't at a book signing. I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and I was stationed at the MCRD San Diego, and I was going back and forth between there and 29 Palms, and it just happened to be I can't remember what year it was exactly, but I was going from one place to the other, and I just happened to have the book. It just came out, and I had it in my car, and I stopped into this. It was like a little diner, and I happened to hear these two people sitting next to me talking about the book, and I was going to ask them, hey, how do you guys like the book? And it turned out that it was him and an old editor, I guess, from the paper. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it was just circumstances that I met him. The quarterback for the Denver Broncos, John Elway. I met him by chance on a Greyhound, not a Greyhound, but an Amtrak train. We were both flying out of Denver International, and the airport got closed because of an ice storm. So they put us all on either Greyhounds or Amtraks, and I just happened to sit down next to him in the diner car area where you can order beers. And I sat down and was having a beer, and he was having I think like a Pepsi or something like that. And I didn't know who he was. I started talking to him, and after we finally got to our destination where we were going, and he was getting up. He stood up, and I stood up to go get our stuff from from our seats. And he said to me, he goes, "I really appreciate you talking to me, like a normal person, and not making a big deal out of that I'm this superstar athlete." And I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Yeah, I don't remember what year it was, but sometimes you meet people in the strangest places. I've met fans of my channel at the grocery store. I've met them at the gas station too. I also can provide proof that Al Capone's grandson lives in Honolulu, Hawaii, and works here too. Dangerous criminals. Uh, I've been to the old, what do you call it, a compound, the home where Mel DeMarcos lived. In case you don't remember who Mel DeMarcos is, her and her husband were the president of the Philippines. She's the lady with 10,000 pairs of shoes, but they were long gone. But I actually went there and saw the lagoon. But the reason why I went there in the first place was because the lagoon, where like beachfront property where Mel DeMarcos lived, is, if you remember the TV series Gilligan's Island, that lagoon area where they filmed that is where the Marcos compound is. So yeah, I guess you need to be a little bit older to understand, because those are some pretty old references. The Shoe Lady, love the show. Mel, welcome. I hope you're doing well today. Get a kick out of your channel too, Mel. Another channel everybody should go check out. Click on her if you don't need the link. What you need to do is just click on her icon, and it should bring up her actual channel. Well, you're just full of 411. Yes, I am. I've lived a very interesting life. I've lived life to the fullest at this point, and I will keep on doing it until the day I die. I am a firm believer in you only get one go around at this, and you might as well enjoy it. Sitting on your butt and doing nothing, and putting your head down and pretending that the world is out there is not going to get you anything. None of us are guaranteed another day. So enjoy it. Go do something. And if it means you don't watch my channel anymore and you go do something, go do it. Just don't forget to uh, thank you, Joan. I don't know why I keep on want to say Joanne every time I see your name. I'm sorry. You go 411 now. All united. My name is Will, as in William. My legal name is William. I go by the name of Will. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. View it true crime. Yeah, it's going to be cool. At View, agree. Mel is a fantastic, entertaining, and funny as she is. She is a character. Hello, Will. Fancy Kitty. Welcome. I'm glad you're here today. Glad you can make it. I would love to send you a drawing of my logo. I am good at it. Dangerous criminal. Well, danger is. Can you send it digitally? If you can send it digitally, go to my about page and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a little gray button that says contact, and that'll bring up my email address that way. Or otherwise, my post office box address is on there as well. And I very well here shortly. I may do another mail time video. I was doing them for the longest time, but then all the mail and correspondence through the mail just stopped. And I was there last week, and I've got probably I would say 6 or 7 boxes over there right now that need to be opened that I've received from you, from viewers out there. I have no idea what's in them. I haven't opened any of them yet. My website needs a new logo. Send me your email address, dangerous criminals. Dale Mini Donks. Mini Donks? All right. Welcome. I'm honored that you watch me. Mel, anyone who is a fan and a supporter of CC is a friend of mine as well. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. She does such a phenomenal job on her channel, and people need to realize that she is a good-hearted woman, and she really needs people to support her. Not You don't need to financially support her, but enjoy her content. I know true inner beauty, and outward beauty when I see it, and she is. And I can't talk about her channel enough. She's still surprised that I enjoy her content. I don't think she really realizes just how good she is at what she's doing, and that's okay. Keeps her humble. I agree, CC. She's real. There isn't anything fake about her. That is absolutely true. Love your 100% facts, and I love CC All United. Yeah. Hopefully, we're trying to get together and do a trivia night um, at the same time. I don't know why it keeps on doing that, but Death Row underscore row Death underscore row 666. When I can send it to you in a DM. Oh, is that that's your Twitter? I'm at Billy Ray Finley on Twitter, because Billy Ray is it's a nickname that my oldest sister gave me when I was a wee little lad. Crime and Coffee. That's Cece's channel. Everyone, you can look her up on YouTube. It's Hey Valerie, glad you could be here today. At Black Rose, hey doll, dangerous criminals. But as far as 401, I'll send it to you. Okay. Hello, I'm subscribed. Love her. 38 Abigail 83. Can I travel to eternity at will? Can you read my question above? Okay. Hold on a second. Let me scroll up. I'm sorry if I missed it. Do you get many trolls on your channel? I don't see any moderators. Travel to eternity. To answer that question, right now I have a second window open up above. I've got 4 moderators that are in this chat right now, but they're just not posting. All 4 of them, what they do is they work behind, and what they're doing is they're flagging things over on the sidebar here, and it shows up either show or hide. They're flag. They're controlling this, so they're here, but Um, I have a couple that that unlike other channels. All right, so you'll see like the blue wrench. I've got 4 people who have a blue wrench, and I've got 4 who, well, I guess all 8 of them have blue wrenches, but 4 of them, all they do is they never comment on the live streams. They control the live streams, but kind of like from behind the curtain, I guess you could say, kind of like Wizard of Oz reference. But they're here. Well, and I can see them right now. Like Willis right now is he just typed me a message that says LOL. We're here. We're just not posting. But yeah, I get a lot of trolls to answer your question. Oh, Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Watch your videos on trolling. It sounds like the answers from them were trolling you. Did you expect that as a possibility when you did this experiment? Yes, Nikki, I did. Hey, Zelda, welcome. Yeah, and Black Rose, welcome as well. Um, so I 6 months. I think it's like 400 and almost 490 people that different people I talked to, and none of these people knew who I was. And that was my entire point, was I didn't want them to know who I was. And a couple people I leaked out that I was doing a paper for a psychology class that I was taking, and I wanted to know if they would be involved in a paper. What did I think that they were trolling me? I was just there as a commenter along with them, but I clicked on their names, and I tried to message them, and I watched their activities. And those who I was able to contact, I mean, a lot of people that I contacted and asked questions to, they had no idea what I was, because I set up a completely different email address, new profile, new Facebook, everything. So none of it was ever, and I had a completely different computer system, because a friend of mine warned me that some of these people may be hackers. And so I used a completely different computer, so I had a different ISP and everything else, so they couldn't track it back to me. So I wish I could show you. The computer's right here. It's a laptop. It's a Samsung laptop. But yeah, I definitely took that into account. Zelda, yeah, you got your audio fixed. You're the best around the Pacific North Northwest. Yeah, thank you, Zelda. Zelda lives down in Boring. God's Truth, Washington. Wet is funny. I wish. Yeah. God's Truth, Washington lives up there. If you're just now getting here now, God's Truth, you should watch the beginning of this stream later. So, little recap. I've got a friend who's coming into town, who I'm hoping to get on here onto the live stream, maybe later today or tomorrow, before he has to head back up to that part of the state. I believe you're over by the coast, right? Up, towards Tacoma that way, Seattle, Tacoma area. Yeah, he's up there, just outside of Tacoma is where he lives. Yeah, I remember you. I remember a lot of people. People are like, oh, yeah, there's Bill Tong. Trolls are nightmares. One channel I was on, troll went for me, and it load followed. I got kicked out by an admin for nothing. I thought I was a man. Definitely a lady. LOL. Now, Bill Tong knee. Yes, boring. Love it. I got my autographed on my YT Chan. See, I jumped on top of 5 diamond back rattlesnakes. True story with my life. Why would you do that, Zelda? I wouldn't. Diamondback rattlesnake. Why would you do that? No, no way. I got rattlesnakes around here. Like they're we caught 4 last week, I didn't personally do it. I mean, I called an exterminator. We caught four of them out in, excuse me, we have a burn pit, a fire pit thing, outdoor area, and we caught them out there. There were like four of them right next to it, and I called the exterminator out, and the guy just calmly walked up, picked them up, put them in a bag, and tied a knot in the bag, and walked back to his car and left. We're like, what? Nope, nope, no snakes for me. Don't move here. Got a lot of them. The more people keep on moving out and encroaching into their area, and they're surprised that the snakes are coming more into town, and the cougars are coming into town. They're like, well, why are there cougars around here? I'm like, please, people, yeah, they were here for hundreds of years before you ever got here. I'm Australian and ain't jumping on no snakes. I'm right there with you. I would not. I see bull snakes out on the golf course, and I'll stop and wait an hour for them to go away, or take a really long time to go around. Black rose, yucky. See, all right. So I'm gonna show you right now. What Black Rose just posted there. Uh, Willis or one of the other moderators flagged that. So don't worry. It gives me the option to either show it or hide it. So they're here. Hey, there's Cece. Crime and coffee. Hi, Will. I think she heard that we were talking about her. It was all good. It's all good, sweetheart. I was just telling people just how much I enjoy your channel and what you were doing. Your ears were burning. Midwest, no poisonous snakes or snakes. Now I live in southern United States. There are copperhead snakes and brown recluse spiders, all dangerous and deadly. Uh, oh, I'm sorry. We have brown recluses around here, but they're not as easy to come by. Get a lot more black widows and I like spiders around here. We'll do I will do this when I get some money saved up. Want to get Patrick McKinnon's prison doc ID tattooed. He's he is the emperor of death row. Okay, enjoy the tattoo. 12 years old, Zelda. Ugh, I get the just like the shivers thinking about snakes. I can deal with just about any animal out there. Well, my wife finds this funny, but I don't. The two things in this world that really bother me the most are flies and ants. I don't like either one of them. I don't like flies or ants. Snakes, they got to be number three. Number four would probably be people. No, people. No, I'm serious. People who refuse to be educated, who want to live an existence of they want to live. They want to live in the dark. They want the easy life. They want everything handed to them. They don't want to work for anything. They just want to exist. Cece, you're terrified of wasps. Wasps. I'm actually allergic to bees, and I'm a beekeeper along with my wife. And wasps and hornets and all of them, they don't bother me. Not as much as they do to some people, but I can understand they're definitely annoying. And not me too. Bees, yeah, Linda. So when I go take care of the hives, I have to have my EpiPen in my pocket. But I've a lot of the people who are in the beekeeping community with we have a really large beekeeping community here, and they call me the bee whisperer because they'll all get their entire suits on and everything else, and I've been doing it for so long. I hardly ever get stung, and when I do, it might be one or two on the hands. I mean, I put gloves on. They come from the elbow up to the entire hand. But I you know I've just learned to work around them and move around them, and I know what excites them and what to look for when they get upset, and then I back off. So I'm pretty good with bees, and but I'm still allergic to them. You want honeybees, Cece? You can order them in the mail. Um, UPS, the United States Post Office, they all ship bees. And it depends on when you buy them. You have to have a hive box for them. That's where it gets expensive is buying all the equipment and everything else. But you can buy a hive box, or um, you can actually. I'm sure if you look around in your community, there are probably other beekeepers in your community that have hives, and they're always looking for new places to put them. And you can put one out in the back yard, and I mean, there's a lot of urban inner city. I know people in downtown Seattle who have beehives. In West Seattle, again, I know people who have beehives, and they put them up on top of their. Well, one friend of mine lives in downtown Seattle. He lives in an apartment complex. He has them on the roof of his apartment complex. Casbat, welcome. I didn't see you before. And yeah, the bees population is severely diminished, and a lot of it has to do with we overspray for pesticides, and we kill everything from like dandelions on. And bees like dandelions, they like clover, and the things that we want to get rid of and exterminate from our yards, we spray, Roundup on them, and then the bee lands on it, and it gets that Roundup on them, and it takes it back to the hive, and it happens, and it kills them all. Hey, from North Carolina, Julie, welcome. And if there's anybody else I missed while I've been yapping, I'm sorry. There's Margie Rock 67 just to put a few plants out to help the bees. Sunflowers, they love sunflowers. Oh yeah, they love sunflowers, especially when they and lilacs. If you have lilac bushes, yeah, and it makes terrific honey. And if you have allergies, take some honey and put it in like a cup of tea or coffee or whatever in the morning. State of Nevada introduced a bill to kill the death penalty on 413 2019 and put a halt on it. Nevada, Colorado is doing the same thing. Do you know why? No, I don't know why Nevada did it, but I know the state of Colorado is doing it because the governor there have been people who were on death row who have they were supposed to die, and um, they the governor there just absolutely refused to finally sign the death warrant for them to kill them. So everything in death row inmates in Colorado have been on hold, and that's one of the other reasons why a lot of people think that you know um, it played politically into why they sent Christopher Watts out of Colorado to Wisconsin because of that. View it, true crime. I'm in Colorado. I don't. I can't. I don't remember what his name is. The governor of Colorado. Lilacs, yum. So pretty and it smells so beautiful. In South Carolina, we can't grow lilacs. Are you sure? You can't grow lilacs there? I'll have to look into that. And if I because there are different varieties of lilacs that are very hardy that will grow in climates all over the world. I mean, we can get lilacs to grow in, I think, northern Canada. So where they thought that they normally couldn't get them to grow before because it was too frostbitten, it would kill the plant. So there might be a variety out there. That it might be a hybrid, or what they do is they graft the lilac onto another plant that is able to survive in your area. Wait, what? Who are you? Who is who? Me? I'm Will. Hi. I want some medicinal honey. It's great for healing intestinal diseases like Crohn's. I'm looking to buy it. Where can I get it? Zelda. You can look up different beekeepers associations in your area. I don't know of any in the Boring area. The I'm part of the Mid Columbia Beekeepers Association here in my area. I can put in a call to them and ask them about the Beekeepers Association. I'm sure they have a directory for different ones, and that would be in your area. But I don't have that information offhand. But if I can get it anytime soon, I will definitely let you know. And just to make sure that I don't forget, I'm going to write it down, Zelda. Yeah, I buy hundreds of note cards because I'm old. In case anybody didn't notice before with all the gray hair, I'm old school. I write everything down, and I have filing cabinets and Rolodexes. Rolodexes, what are those? Yeah. All right. Zelda. No. Or Boring Orchid. I will ask. I will send my contact within the association an email after this and ask him if he knows of one, and if I can get you the name and of the association, and most likely they have a website, and that way you can contact them that way. Oh, you're talking to the chat. Sorry, no, that's all right. I was like, who am I? Well, I'm Will. Welcome. I haven't met you before. I'm glad you're here. Tawani, hi, Crime and Coffee, and Mel. Thanks for referring me here. I'm glad you're here too, Tawani. Tawanda. Tawanda. It's not Tawani. Tawanda. If I mispronounce your names, everybody, I'm sorry. But you don't trust the sellers. It's very spendy. Yeah, I'll put you in direct contact with the actual beekeeper themselves, if at all possible, Zelda. Uh, you were telling me about the ridiculous prices before for honey. That wow. I mean, we sell a gallon of honey here from our one of our hives. Now we have them in different areas, in our because the bees they'll travel up to 5 miles within their area, and it's not unheard of for them to go a little bit farther, especially if they find a whole lot of nectar or whatever, just outside of their normal range. But uh, they we have bees that are in some areas where there's sagebrush, and there's a lot of clover. So we get a lot of clover honey from those bees, and then we have other ones that are near the river nearby, and those ones they more seasonal flowers, and their honey it's normal honey, but it has a little bit of a garlic like tint to it, like flavor, because there's a lot of wild garlic that grows along the lower Snake River. So Native Americans used to harvest it all the time, but they love like garlic chives. Bees love garlic chives, and then they take that back and they, the honey, actually gets that flavor from it. Do they? Oh, God, through yeah, they come with the queen. They have to. If you buy what's called a nuke online, it'll come with a queen. She'll be in a container that's within it, and what they do is they put what they call candy on the outside of it, and all the workers that are in there, they're there to try to protect her and keep her safe, and they try to eat away the candy to get to the queen to make sure she's safe. All United, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So we're at an hour and 11 minutes now. Just letting everybody know we're going to go for about another 19 minutes, and then I have to go. I paid $50 for a gallon of honey from a Salem beekeeper. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Zelda. That is what I was saying. So for a gallon of honey here, it's about $11. $11 for a gallon. I have $50. That is ridiculous. But yeah, but yeah, I should do a video about how they actually ship them. I have all the containers and stuff in my garage of how they ship queens. We don't we do splits off of a nuke, off of a hive box. It's called a nuke. You take the queen. Just she'll lay eggs to, and another queen will come about, and you'll take workers and you'll set them aside in a smaller little box. It's probably about a foot and a half long in length, and by about 10 inches wide, 8 inches deep, and she's inside that little tiny container inside there. And all they want to do is they will group all around her in a massive ball until they can get that the queen safe and then eat that candy. But that's how we ship them UPS. We don't do it personally, but the association there does. I live in Michigan. Honey is much more expensive than that here. We've got hives in Wisconsin. My family, we've always had hives there, and I was talking to last time. Zelda told me how much she paid for honey. I asked my sister there how much is honey going for at the farmers exchange. Uh, so it's kind of like we have like a state fair, but in our rural community there we have it's called farmers exchange, where if you're farming, maybe you grew corn, you bring your corn and you can trade it. Nobody has cash. You trade it with another person. Well, he's got leftover grain for cows or for chickens. You can trade your corn for the even amounts across value. And that they've been doing that since my great grandfather homesteaded the place in 1910, and it goes on every summer in June, toward the end of June. But how much is the honey going for there? There it's going for a little bit more than what we're doing here, but $50, Jesus, yeah, it is basically a barter system, but it nobody has cash. You've never put cash on the table with anything. It's always, well, I have this much corn. What will you trade me for it? If I need, I need somebody to fix my car. Here's well, you own an automotive shop. I will give you this corn so you can, and your wife can can it for winter time, and give and take it. But it's a barter system, and it's always worked out. You'd be surprised what you can get for and we grow corn on one part of the property. We've never been in the corn farming business, but we grow a small little acreage of it, and that's all it's for. That for trading and for storage for wintertime. But we've always the farm was always soybean and cows, and now it's a horse farm. We don't farm my family. We still own the farm, but we don't. We have a home on the farm there, but we don't actually farm anymore. We've all moved off the land. I mean, obviously, that's in Wisconsin. I live in Washington State, but my sister lives in upstate Minnesota, and I've got another sister who lives there on the farm still, and I've got nephews and cousins and stuff like that. They all live like right there. we could farm it, but we make more money in leasing it out in parcels because we have a natural gas pipeline that runs through the back part of the property, and we get residuals off of that every year, and it always pays the taxes on the farm. My father was a big believer back before the family farms across America, and we had Farm Aid and all that was going on. And before we had to get Willie Nelson out there, and sing some songs, to help farmers out. My father was a huge believer his entire life. Never take on debt. If you can't buy it tomorrow with cash that you have in the bank, don't buy it. If you can make it work another year and fix it, and it's still going to be cost effective, and you can fix it and then sell it and make the money back, do that before you ever take on debt. And I've lived most of my life that way, even today. I mean, I have two credit cards in my wallet, but I will charge something and I will pay it off within, like, 10 days. I never use them for anything more than an emergency purposes. But that's just how we live. And we still live that way. I live that way to this very day. If I would need a new car, I go buy a new car. I work my butt off. I save my money and I go buy it. And I understand not everybody's in this situation or has the ability to do that. If you don't have the money to do certain things, you just don't do them. And I know we all have to get back and forth to work. I mean, I've lived in Seattle. Actually, I lived in Linwood, Washington, and it costed me more money to drive from Linwood, Washington to downtown Seattle to my job. And what it cost me the most was the parking fee. It became too much. So I just said, screw it. And I just started taking the bus. And that bus would only get me so close to my work. And then I had to walk the other 3.5 miles to my actual job. But I made it work because you find a way to make things work if you really need to. Yeah, Mel. And it is the UK. It is the best policy. And welcome, UK. Glad you could be here today. You know, I, you refuse to pay for parking in Seattle. Yeah, good luck with that. We lived in Linwood for a year. The rain made me sadder after a while. Do you at True Crime? I lived in Linwood, right by the Mukilteo Speedway, by Lake Serene area. I drove $100 junkyard wonders, but it made double house payments. Now I have zero debt, but it took shopping used, no using a credit card, Zelda. Me and my wife, for which is when we first met and we first started dating, the two of us didn't have two dimes to rub together. And we bought our first house. It was just a 2 bedroom, 1 bath home, not a mobile home, but it was an actual, stick built home. We bought that house and we paid it off in 5.5 years by making 1.5 time payments every month. And every time we got our taxes, everything went to pay the house off. And we finally paid that house off. We sold that house and bought two more, one to live in, one to be a renter, to rent out. And we rented it out to people who were because we had a lot of friends at that time who were going through the same things we were. They were new couples. They didn't have a lot of money. They were just starting off in their careers, and maybe they didn't have the references or whatever to rent. So we purposely rented it out to people who normally would have a hard time getting a rental, and we did that for several years. And then we ended up after it sat empty for a while, we didn't move anybody out of it, and we sold that house off. And then we took that and we sold our other house and we bought a bigger house for ourselves. We made them all pay for themselves. That very first house was a stepping stone along the way. I wish I could say the same thing about the house I'm in now. I won't have this place paid off until 2048. But I'm going to answer the question. I saw it earlier. But the reason why there's a whiteboard behind me, I'm going to do it's kind of like a master class. I already have one video that's already uploaded to YouTube. It's unlisted right now. You can't find it, but once I make it public, it'll actually show up. But I'm going to show people, and especially those who are in the true crime community and have YouTube channels, how to find the information that I have been reporting on. For all those people out there who don't believe that it's possible to get documentation and prove factually what I've been reporting on, I'm going to show you and them, everyone, how to do it. And I've broken it down into 5 parts. And the first one will probably be in a week or so. I'll make it from unlisted to public. We spent a few nights at the very expensive Edgewater Inn. They charged us $49 plus a $10 fee to have them park it. Wow, nasty place, room filled with fleas, and poor dogs suffered. We were just in Seattle, and my wife found this place online. Now, depending upon where you are, this is right next to the University of Washington Medical, UW Medical in downtown Seattle. We stayed at a place there called the Stay Pineapple. And yes, she found it online because it was called the Pineapple Hotel. And she wanted to stay there because her logo and on everything is a pineapple. And she's like, wow, we have to stay there. So it wasn't the cheapest hotel in Seattle, but hospitality wise, highly recommend it. And we got free parking and valet service and everything else there. So we got about another 8 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna have to get going. Like I said, I'm expecting my friend to come into town, and he'd probably like to see me. So he's staying here at my house with me. So I turn that off, and he is 23 miles away. So we're actually on time here. Will Chris Watts ever be added to my infamous list? That is a big nope. Okay. Christopher Watts, yeah, he's a rare gem in a cesspool of killers. Edgewater Inn was over 850 per night, but Motorola paid. Otherwise, we take a tent and sleep under the bridge. Zelda. I get the State Pineapple in downtown Seattle. I think it was $165 a night, and I don't know what if they would call it a 5-star, 4-star, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I've stayed at places that were basically a Best Western, and I've had the best night of my life, and sleep wise and comfort wise, and security, because that's what I look for. I look for security. I look for comfortable room and hospitality. That's what matters to me. Thank you for the super chat, Dale. I appreciate that. But $150 a night, that's a lot more than I want to pay. But the wife wanted it, and sorry, but it's very comfortable, clean. Uh, it's I would say that it's more of a hipster hotel, I guess you could call it. I mean, they have you check in, everybody gets like a little 4-pack of muffins, and they give you a big jar of pineapple water. And then they have all these different things that are in the hotel room, in the actual room itself. They have a little box, gift box, and it's a pineapple. And inside that, there's like candies and treats and stuff like that. And I think it was like $10 for the box, and then you got like bottled water and everything else. and there's mini fridges and stuff like that. The normal amenities, but just stuff in the mini fridge. Like the can of Pepsi was $4 in the mini fridge, so you avoid that stuff. But it was a really nice place. My favorite place is in Seattle is Cedar Brook Lodge. I've never stayed there. Travel to eternity. Normally, when we travel to Seattle, because we have a lot of friends who live in West Seattle, but we went up there this last time. We were up there because we wanted to take my son to the zoo. So, I guess when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, but we stayed at the State Pineapple because it was close in proximity to the zoo and to my friends. It was it was a little bit of a drive for my friend to drive all the way up there. What? Peppers here, and it cost us over $2,000 for a long weekend, which includes breakfast and 200 vouchers and dinner expenses, but worth it. Shine on. Wow. Love these live chats. You're a cool guy and are at your best when shooting and breezing about topics you know about. Surrounded by good friends on this channel. You rock. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I do stammer a lot less, don't I? I'm very at ease doing live streams, and if I could, I would make every video a live stream. And who knows? I may do that eventually. Hawaii's pineapple just tastes better. Love pineapple, but it's full of sugar. My favorite fruit. Yeah, but natural sugar from fruit like that is better for you than the stuff you buy in the store. Oh, sensible crime. They executed Ellen, and she was Kaleo's schizo. I feel bad for T. Jones. I have a problem with DP and those mentally insane. Well, Zelda, don't look at the state of Texas. And if you're from the state of Texas, you might want to put your fingers in your ears. So the state of Texas has executed mentally ill. They have executed people that were mentally um, unable to tell right from wrong, the mentally disabled, mentally retarded, and I'm sorry for using that term. I don't know what the new PC version of that term is. They have executed people that were innocent in the state of Texas as far back as 6 years ago. They executed a man who was proved to be innocent after they executed him, and the governor refused to give him a stay of execution. So you can look it up online. I'm not going to cite each and every one of the references if you're from the state of Texas. And Lori K, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, Lori, my mother's name is Lori. I have a Lori, a Laura, a Lorna, and a I think she keeps on changing her stupid name. It's an aunt. She's one of these flower child children. I think she's going by L Star or something like that now. Seeing your beautiful wife, bring her on more if possible. You two are a great looking couple. Thank you, Black Rose. I try to get her to come on to the live streams, but she's busy. Like right now, she's upstairs with the 2-year-old, trying to get him to want to take a bath this morning because, well, if we put him outside, he'll jump in the pool naked. He loves to be naked at this age, 2 years of age. But we can't get him to want to take a shower or a bath with soap. You put soap in his little wading pool outside, he won't go in it. But kids, yeah, it was mentally ill, and the Florida executed her. Yeah, Cece, they did. The PC term is mentally challenged. Thank you, dangerous criminals. And I'm sorry for using the terms that I did. I did not mean it in a derogatory, mean, spirited way at all. I, some of the things that I say them, I don't mean them, in a mean way. D. Larkin, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, really do. Uh, Cece, trust me, you should see my shower. He's got bath crayons. He has got a lot of bath crayons, and those white wall, white tub. Well, it used to be. I think it was white. Now it's all colored different. Each and every one of the tiles, he's colored them in. Well, he's tried to stay within the actual border, so he's getting better at coloring. But get back to what I was saying though. He growing up, the terminology that I have in my vocabulary and in my mind for certain things obviously has changed over the years. You can't say certain things anymore. And even if when I got in trouble for this on a live stream. I said that something was retarded. I didn't say a person was retarded. I said that is retarded. And boy, did the wrath of people come after me for saying that. And I'm like, really? I That's just a word that I've grown up using. I didn't mean it to mean somebody that person's retarded. I said that is retarded, and or that person is acting retarded. I didn't mean it as trying to describe someone's mental state or ability to learn or communicate or anything at all. But you know, I'm old and I need to learn how to become more PC. And a lot of times, if you watch my videos close enough, you'll see me. I'll be talking, all of a sudden I stop and I pause because I'm trying to remember I can't say certain things, and I don't mean it the wrong way. Well, me too, but I don't work. But I must be careful walking around the house, UPS and J Dubs with my naked butt. Yeah, Lori, Stags. I don't try to wear my feelings on my sleeve. I just don't want people to be angry with me because I use a word that is I'm not meaning it in a mean spirited way or to be derogatory towards someone when I use a word like that. And that's what I have to do. I have to find a way to retrain my brain to not use terminology that I've grown up using my entire life. If I see someone doing something really stupid that or risky, I'm like that. I wouldn't do that. That's retarded. And boom, the internet went off on me. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is an hour and 30 plus minutes right now. I do need to get going. We'll be 69 in a few months. Dale, really? Oh, I gotta look at your picture. Now, Black Rose, what PC is changing? Will I'm old. I'm 68. You're awesome. Thank you very much, everyone who is here today. RN, buddy, you're just catching the end of it. I'm leaving, but hey, I'm glad you could stop by today. I gotta go. I gotta go over and check your channel. I hope you have some new videos up. But anyways, I do have to get going, everyone. Um, you stay safe. I'm hoping that I can get my friend on live stream either today or tomorrow before he heads back to his home on the other side of the mountains here. But And I think, especially ladies, you get a kick out of him. He's a great guy. All right. Yeah. And, Zelda, you stay away from rattlesnakes. Okay. Stay safe out there, everyone. And those who sent me super chats today and everything else, I really do appreciate it. Each and every one of you for doing that. And for those who didn't, I still appreciate everybody. Just being here and giving me someone to talk to instead of me just talking to a blank screen. And unlike the first time, you guys can hear me. If you were here earlier, the audio wasn't working. I'll get all the kinks worked out as I get everything moved in here. But in the meantime, Papa Bruin, um, glad you could be here, but I'm out. Bye bye. Stay safe out there, everyone.